I am Vicki Canellis, and I'm a nurse.
Hi, I'm Sam, and this is my mom, and I'm a nurse.
We're the Grubs.
We're the Grubbs family.
I'm Valdita Barrett. I'm a nurse.
And I'm Val's daughter. Everybody calls me that, but I'm Sarita. I'm also a nurse.
Between the two families, my parents were both RNs. Her mother was an RN.
My parents are both RNs.
Hi, I'm Lisa Patch. I'm a registered nurse.
And I'm Jen Patch. Well, now I'm Jen Falk, and I am also a registered nurse.
Two sisters of mine are RNs. I have an uncle, a couple of aunts, cousins, and she has one aunt. And
We staff a whole hospital.
I always wanted to be a nurse. My mother was a nurse, and from early as I can remember, I played nurse. So she was going to be a police officer until the day she graduated high school, and she said, I think I want to be a nurse. And that was it.
And what changed?
She forced me to become a nurse.
I did not.
Okay, when I was a little girl, my mom, she was like the matriarch of the family, and she said, you're going to be a nurse, and she said to my sister, you're going to be a teacher. So I just grew up knowing I had to be a nurse.
And my mom told me, you're going to nursing school. I said,
I went to nursing school when Jennifer was 5 and her little sister was 3. So that was about, well, you're 28 now, so.
Over 20 years ago.
Yeah, over 20 years ago. And why did I become a nurse? Because after I left Publix after 11 years and I wanted to do something where I knew I could help people, so I went back to school to be a nurse.
And I guess I always just grew up knowing that I wanted to help people. I knew I wanted to do something in healthcare, didn't really know what it was. And, you know, I grew up each and every day wondering how I can be more and more like my mom. So I said, why not just go and become a nurse and be just like her?
I mean, it is completely different in a lot of ways. Electronic charting has made it that, but just the pure numbers of patients. When I started an evening shift on an orthopedic floor, and it was myself and 2 aides for 24 patients. And I mean, nobody would dream of doing that now, so.
The most I've ever gotten is 2 patients. I would like to keep it at that ratio, not 24.
Well, the first thing I remember, and Judy Grubbs actually reminded me, when we took our state boards, when I took them, 2 days, and it was like 5 or 6 sections, and we had to stay in a hotel and drive to the location. It was only given once or twice a year. And today, she can tell you about her test.
Took it online, and if it flashed blue, that meant you passed.
And we used to use glass thermometers. And when the thermometer would break, we'd play with the mercury, and that's like, you can't, even touch mercury now. And, the manual blood pressure cuffs, there was no Dynamap. So just, technology. And
how they didn't wear gloves. That is so crazy to me.
And if you wore gloves, patients were offended. If you, what, do you think I'm dirty? Or, and now if you see somebody not wearing gloves, you're like, why don't they have gloves on?
Yeah.
I remember my mom being able to take home our vaccines. Like, I remember my mom giving me my vaccines or doing lab work on my dad and watching him pass out at the kitchen room table. But that's a different story in itself.
She is my go-to person, and she is a wealth of information for me. And I can vent to her, and I can tell her all these things that I don't know who else to talk to about. And she just always has the right thing to tell me. And my dad is just over it because that's all he hears is nursing. But I mean, we love it.
Me and Mom, we'd start talking about nursing, and my dad would be like, "Okay, this is not dinner conversation, not at all." But I mean, we thought it was. We just understand. So it's like, I guess, something that we kind of bond over.
Talking about blood and vomit and stuff like that isn't gross at the dinner table.
Problem. Just keep eating.
Just keep eating. It's fine.
My first rescue that I had to call was when we were doing shift change, and I was really nervous. And typically at shift change, that's when they happen. So this is my first one, and I was so nervous, and everybody came, and my mom was on the rescue team, and she helped me. And as soon as I saw her face, I just relaxed, and everything went really well. And everybody was really great.
That was nice.
That's my favorite nursing story.
Okay.
I'm glad I've grown up to be just like you, Mom.
I'm glad you grew up to be a
Mother's
beautiful.
Day.
I love you.